Hi everyone. Let's go start by looking at the first paragraph of this essay. The essay we're looking at today is examine the concept, which simply means the idea that free will is curtailed, which just means lessened or reduced by volition, and volition simply means a person's will. So ultimately what the question is trying to say is, let's look at the idea that our free will is reduced by our will. It's the idea that we are less free because of our will. As usual, I'm going to have the following key as we go through. So if you look at the essay in front of you on the screen, you'll see that we've got in bold the scholars, in italics, the link back to the question to make sure that we're answering it, and everything that's underlined is the connection. Now, this first video we're going to look at now, very, very brief, is just going to look at the introductory paragraph and look at what the question's asking and what we're going to be saying in the essay. Okay, so I'll just start by reading through it. The concept that a person's free will is reduced or curtailed by volition, i.e. their will, would seem to depend on how it was created or caused. In order to examine this idea, it seems necessary to explore the reasons both for and against a person's will reducing their freedom. So again, will means volition, and all we're doing is looking at the idea that a person's will can make them less free or more free. Now, what we're going to be looking at here, it says, as such, I firstly will examine the positions that would argue that the will is determined and therefore reduces our freedom. So what we're going to be saying here is the will is caused, perhaps controlled by something else. It's determined, linking in with hard determinism. And as such, the will is going to reduce our freedom. Then we'll look at the next alternative point of view. So if you look there, secondly, I will examine how Kant's compatibilism, which is also called soft determinism, can be used to give a perspective where volition can increase rather than curtail a person's freedom. So really, really simply there, the first paragraph just sets out the debate. It's going to look at the reasons why the will can be determined. It's going to look at the hard determinist approach. So that's the idea that will is caused. And secondly, it's going to look at Kant and soft determinism. And that's the idea that the will can be a cause in itself. So the first part is going to be saying the will is caused by something else and therefore our freedom is reduced. And then secondly, it's going to look at Kant saying that actually our will can be a cause in itself and therefore make us more free, increasing freedom. So it's looking at two different points of view. Note straight away, we've got a name in the first paragraph. So we've got scholars and evidence of reading. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Just a very, very brief introduction to the first paragraph, which is setting out the debate. Keep an eye out for following videos, which is going to move on to each part of the paragraph and part of the essay. Hope that makes sense. Thanks very much. If you've got any questions, just keep adding them at the bottom or tweet them at @stm_RA.